Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sitar Gurukul. On the last lesson, we were discussing this new variation that I showed you based on the polyrhythm theme that we were working on. So, on the last three episodes, I believe, on the first episode, I taught you how to ride or create this polyrhythm technique, how it works, and the internals, and we talked about the mathematics behind it. On the second episode, I showed you how you can make 8 segments. On every segment you're going to play a repetitive theme of 2 cycles, and that's going to make up for 2 beats. So on that note, we now have 8 segments that we made out of the total 16 beats. And on the very last lesson, I showed you how to play a variation from the last 2 beats of Tintal, and then how to play a variation on the last 4 beats. So taking those 4 beats away, you're now left with 12 beats. So I'm not going to show you how to take away 2 more beats and then play 10 beats of rhythm and then play a variation on the last 6 beats. Instead, I'm going to do something uh, taking a bigger area. So I'm just showing you the technique. Later, when you are on the road of becoming an artist, you are going to pick out yourself if you want to play on every 2 or on every 4, or you want to slice it in half and play on 8 and 8. That's completely up to you. I'm just going to show you the basic techniques for you to understand what's going on, understanding the framework, so you can come at it by yourself again and again and keep creating more complex and more melodic lines. Now, just to brush up what we have already learned, just a summation of what we have already learned, I'm going to turn on my tabla, which is set to Teen Tal D scale 120 BPM, and we are going to talk more. So there are 16 beats in total, and our rhythm was, this was our rhythm, the polyrhythm that we were working on. So we are going to play 8 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of these, and you're going to make up for the entire cycle. So on the last lessons, we played on the last 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and then we created a variation that covers the last 4 beats. So today we are going to separate them in 4s. So the first 4 beat is one group, the second 4 beats are another group, the third 4 beats are another group, and so are the last 4. So we already learned that since the Tintal, it comes in a package just like that, where we have 4 pockets of 4s. So let's measure them out. So 1, 2. So 2 of these are going to cover the first 4, and likewise, if you play 8 of them, you're going to cover the entire 16 beats. So coming back, we already let's say that the stuff that we have already learned is just your introduction to this polyrhythm, meaning you play all the tons and then you stop, and then you perhaps let the tabla player play a little bit of a solo, and then you begin like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, and then we extend 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So we already covered the last 4 beats. Now we are going to segment them up into 4 beats in total. So 4 segments in total. So that's the first segment. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So in today's episode, keeping those 4 lines that we have already learned from the last 2 beats and the last 4 beats, So our 4 beats are covered. Now we are going to take the other 4 that are right next to it. So we're going to play on the last 8 beats. So in order to play on the last 8 beats, we need to identify where the first 8 beat ends. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to have to take your next tan from Khali, which we have already learned. So we start from Khali, and it shouldn't be a problem since you already play all your 8 beat tans from Khali. So in that way, the Khali or the number 9th beat shouldn't be much of a problem to you. So in order to do that, if we are going to count in our polyrhythm cycles, then we are going to play how many? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you play 4 of these, you're going to end up covering the first 8, which means you get to start your tan from Khali. So let's make a tan from Khali. 1, 2. I just made this tan right now. So what we're doing is we have to keep in mind that even though you've already played tans, 8 beat tans from the 9th beat, but that was when you were playing twice the speed. Now you're playing 1.5 or 3 times that speed, so you're not going to be able to cover it within 8 beats. You're probably going to need 12. So in that case, the tan that I just made, if I sing it for you, it's Gama da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni sa. So one more time. 3, 4. So Gama da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re ga re sa. Gama da ni sa ni da pa ma Gama da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re ga re sa. One more time. Gama da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re ga re sa. So that's the number 1 tan that I gave you, from that you're going to have to start from 9 while maintaining that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So you're playing 3 times that speed. So that's 1 tan. Let's try another variation, perhaps a tehai this time. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a short little interesting tehai that you could perhaps play before or after the tan I just showed you. So we are beginning this tehai from exactly the 9th beat, just like the previous one. Since we are now playing dividing into 2 parts, so you already played with the last 2 beats, then the last 4 beats. Now you're playing with an entire half, so you're playing with the last 8 beats. So we're going to start from 9, and then the bani or the notes that I'm playing is ni 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 re 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 ga, ni 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 re 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 ga, ni 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 re 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 ga. So you're still having your right hand is doing most of the work here. So you're still playing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1, and that goes the song. So we are going to start from the 9th beat. 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, if you've already noticed that there's a little gap on the last beat, so how do we realize what the last beat? So essentially what we're doing is we are playing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's what we are playing. But on the last beat, just to make it sound more dramatic, we're not counting the 2 and 3. But if we do count the 2 and 3, that's the exact amount of space you're going to get. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So that's going to give you the sum, but instead we are going to count 1 2 3 1 2 3 and just 1 over here. We are going to keep silent for the time that was going to be occupied by 2 and 3. So one more time. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So I'm just trying to explain here that the amount of time that you're going to be silent is going to be the exact amount of time you would occupy if you were saying 2 and 3 at the same time. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So just like that from the ninth beat. And right from there you start your theme again. One more time. 'So that's it for today. I hope that you understood the concept I'm trying to explain. But bear in mind that you're supposed to memorize these, so you get the basic framework. And the achievement that you would unlock in these 60 episodes is that if you follow them and practice regularly, you would be able to at least understand the basics of what you're doing, of how to hold and play the sitar, and accomplish maybe a 5 or 6 minute performance, where through that you get to learn the possibilities. But the greater possibilities, always you have to sit with your guru or gain inspiration, gain training, and eventually come up with it yourself. So that's it for today. Signing off. On the next episode we're going to further extend this theme that we are playing. Till then, take care, bye bye, and practice hard.